Hey there, folks. This is the Mysterious JG,
I am Bobo the Vulture.
and we're gonna do a Let's Play together, even though it's a one-player game.
Yep.
Although this particular game actually had a multiplayer mode, which featured the ability to play under certain goofy game conditions as Reiko, Hinamoto, or Roddy Reiko. It's kind of bizarre. I never actually got to do it. But it's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. No, it is not a second playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty.
Go check out my channel, folks. It's there.
Although we could have done another playthrough in which Bobo was forced to swallow down his bloodlust and start killing dudes in the tanker.
I mean, I don't
We had-
really
we had
feel
a-
like I'm like poisoning Solid Snake's soul at
Yeah,
that point in his life.
That's true. Or we could go through again and try to make sure that we call Rose the minute that Raiden kills someone so we can get the special speed.
Well, yes. Now that we really did take. Well, I mean, no. I guess.
No.
No. Wait.
Spoilers if you haven't watched Metal Gear Solid 2, but we find out that Raiden, before the game begins, had actually killed a lot of people as a child soldier, and it was like repressing his memories. It was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But now it's time for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, 1964, Virtuous Mission and Operation Snake Eater. It's not a big spoiler that it's 1964. I mean, they kind of tell you the game is set in the past as you start playing it.
I feel like I'd heard/read that before, like the game was even available.
Right.
Like the buzz surrounding the game was it's a prequel that takes place in like the 60s.
However, we are going to skip past this screen because it's chock full of pointlessly spoilerific spoiler. Like this is
And it was up there long enough that if you're really interested in
you
spoiling
can
it for
pause
yourself,
and read it if you want.
Yeah.
But like for reasons I don't understand, they just really wanted to spoil this game. Anyway,
I mean, I guess they really thought the people who had already played through the games are going to go buy the HD collection.
I guess.
Which in this case, I guess you did.
Yeah.
But
I bought it for you as a gift, and then I
You
bought one
did.
for
I
myself at
appreciate it.
360, which is why there was only two games instead of three. We're playing this on my 360.
Yeah.
Which is poor wimpy little 360. It's not a superior Japanese machine, so it can actually put all three of those games on one disc.
And try and make it play Metal Gear Solid 4 at all.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tall order. Metal Gear Solid 5 apparently is going to come out on both systems, but I'll believe it when I see it.
This weird dancing around, CQC combat thing. This is not the first time we've seen this, because of course we also played Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, which is
Quit pimping your channel.
Well,
this is pimping your channel.
I'm pimping my channel. Well, I'm giving you a chance to take a drink break there.
Right.
But like in case this is giving anybody deja vu, like it is me now, the pink silhouettes of soldiers dancing around, even though JG, you have played through this game. Yeah. I have seen bits and pieces of it, but this is the one Metal Gear game out of like the main canon, not counting what is the Peace Walker.
Peace Walker is part of the main canon now, I guess, if it's on the HD collection. I'm still not sure what that means for portable ops and some of the other, games.
Yeah. But this is the one of the whole series that I never actually played through. So I will be discovering this with you if you are a new viewer.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought you were going somewhere with the CQC, but no. But I'll also point out this, folks. We're playing this on my poor 360. Can't even have three games on one disc. What it also doesn't do, and the reason we played Metal Gear Solid 2 at Bobo's place on his PS3 is the joysticks for the PS3, like the joystick for the PS2, has pressure-sensitive buttons where you can lightly press down a button to auto-aim and then press the trigger down hard to fire. A mechanic that was important in Metal Gear Solid 2, except that we forgot to use it. And the only time I even remembered it existed was when the codec calls came during the vamp fights. Don't do that, or you won't be able to hit him.
Yeah, Colonel's like, don't use your auto aim function. Well, good. I won't have done that.
So we could have been using the Xbox 360 for both of this.
Yes, and of course, if we get really bored, we could go back and play this enhanced version of the MSX version of Metal Gear, as opposed to the NES one. That is,
we get really bored. That's true. I mean, we'd mentioned this is something Bobo had mentioned to me. Is like, wait, maybe we should do Japanese Metal Gear before we do, because it's a different game.
It's totally different.
Well, I don't know if it's totally different.
I don't think it's totally different.
But speaking of games, let's play Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm playing the Metal Gear Solid series for the first time. I like
I don't understand what.
Uh,
I mean, are
I
they asking about in
remember.
terms of gameplay, in terms of storyline?
I remember there's an Easter egg kind of joke if you pick I like Metal Gear Solid 2, but I don't remember what the Easter eggs are for these or if there's anything. I'm gonna say I like Metal Gear Solid 2 because I do, and
Would you say it's your favorite of these three?
no, probably the third one's my favorite, so I'm lying here. I guess I should say 3.
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I can't say that it's my favorite, other than yeah. Well, do what you want.
I'm gonna pick
I've
2.
no.
I'm gonna pick 2 because I remember a funny little extra that happens if you pick that. There might be funny little extras we're missing by not picking the other things. Whatever.
Leave your comments on the Google Plus page that has this video on it.
We're gonna go with normal difficulty,
yeah.
even though I'm sure we can handle hard. That's what she said. Badoom.
Yes.
And yes, it is the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. At the end
After
of World
the
War...
end of World War II,
Sorry,
the
Mr.
world
Hater.
was split into two.
Quit jumping on my
East
lines.
and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Quit impersonating him.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, this game doesn't start riding. What the fuck?
Doesn't start like neonatal Raiden from like.
When Raiden was still a gleam in Solidus's eye.
Well,
because well, no, it's not. You know, that
it was I who killed myself.
Suicidal snake.
Self-eating snake, like the.
Wow, this is like 00000. It's the first plane ever.
Yeah, it's the.
I don't know why that was a Japanese flag.
Straight
honestly.
OP.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
I've done that.
Approaching Soviet
I mean,
airspace.
I wasn't flying. I was riding.
Yeah. It's real quiet in the cabin.
Commencing internal
I'm guessing that probably was not the case.
And actually, flavor packs. What am I making up? I don't usually do that.
All right, you ready to go?
Are you ready to be the attractive female save game person?
Good. We've got high visibility.
We want everyone to see us come in here.
Alright, Hideo, give yourself a few more credits here.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
No English.
White
Does
devil.
his panty waist know what he's doing?
It really is gleaming, you know, future
Approaching
Raiden.
release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey,
Duke!
Deaf?
It's our old friend Duke.
Are you looking at this guy, though?
He's got long blonde hair.
Big bands on his muscles.
Yeah.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
Did you say
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
You know, honestly, at this point, what?
Snake Eater.
Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Sunset. Sunrise. Sunset.
Is this the little girl I...
Is this the little puss I brought
External
up?
temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius.
Cool.
2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
Stand up. Fight for your right to party.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
I'll do my best not to get frostbite. I will make a conscious
Yeah.
effort.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
So why is it
There will be
available
many
on...
sequels.
They say, why is it on
Let's-
PS3 then? Should it be on Xbox? 'Cause the Halo, you get it. Funny.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, good. Well, you know how
Spread
to
your
count.
wings
And fly.
You're a champion.
Only dreams that the heart makes become wishes for our future.
I don't think he's going back up.
Okay, thank you, Hideo, for making us laugh about snakes again.
Jack, I've got some important news.
Jack.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the
Jack
green
is
light
dead,
for
only the
the
Joker
virtuous
remains.
mission.
Virtual mission.
No, the virtuous mission.
Pay
The
attention.
future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it
My
succeeds,
Fox
we'll be
unit
officially
3,
organized into a unit.
cool. A G unit.
Virtuous mission.
No, virtual
Sounds
mission.
like
Pay
some kind of
attention.
Initiation ritual.
Don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Oh, like a virtual mission?
So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well,
Virtuous mission. What the fuck? I mean, how many times?
2 years ago,
That's what I wanna know.
certain Soviet scientists requested asylum in the
That's
West
what I'm
through one of
asking.
our
Third
mobs.
base.
His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau.
It's not
It's
a
also
great
a-
bureau. It's an okay
Research
bureau.
facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Until the next one comes along.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same.
It doesn't take one of them to figure this mission
On
out.
April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
I heard about
The
that.
Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Yeah, whatever.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket.
It's also a popular stakes, also a
Sokolov
member
is
of
said to
Team
be the
Canada.
man most responsible for the multi-engine
Alistair
cluster
Ralphs.
used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau.
Pretty
That's
cool.
quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It
Well, we
seems
have
he'd
better
become
food than
afraid
the
of his
Russians.
own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west.
He wanted to make sure that none of his stock footage was flashing with clouds or yellow.
The Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
But then his
I
ice
didn't touch the sides.
his ice skater girlfriend was killed, and very
We
sad.
got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin.
From which he was kidnapped by the
2 weeks
Russians.
and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent.
Drank a
It
lot
was
of
only
vodka.
a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The
My-
Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th.
Stop it, Snake. You're spoiling my
President
review.
Kennedy received word that the
Sorry.
Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate
Oh, I'm
range
President
ballistic missiles in Cuba.
I got killed 50 years ago.
President demanded
But
that
at least
the
I didn't
Soviets
fall off
rapidly
Federal
remove
Hall
the
wearing
missiles.
super armor.
At the same time, he
It's
announced
true.
a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary
Yeah, I know this. It's recent history and very important. Why would you think I wouldn't know about? Oh, you're
US and Soviet
the
forces
dumbass
went on
kids
alert
while
for
playing the
all-out
game. Probably.
nuclear
Yeah, I
war.
got you.
Frantic negotiations were conducted through the
It ain't
UN
on Facebook. They don't know about it. I got you.
unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff.
And,
Finally,
you know,
on October the
Khrushchev
28th,
got offended
the
when they
Soviet
used the
Union
term hair
agreed to
trigger.
remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world
Because
avoided
he's
a nuclear
bald.
holocaust.
Yes.
But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out,
That's what she
we
said.
had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the U.S. agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
You're spoiling my review
No.
again. No.
The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete.
It was
We were
still
gonna get
fucking
rid of
nuclear.
them anyway.
No.
They had no strategic value whatsoever
they were
to
nuclear
either the US
missiles.
or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence
Oh,
agencies around
Snake.
the world.
You're the only one who doesn't know.
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
He had some of their
You
albums.
mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
He has a delicious lime
What was he
flavor.
working on?
At the time, we had no idea.
So we gave him up
We were
without
running
knowing.
out of time.
That's, yeah.
It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war.
So they took one of America's greatest diplomatic triumphs, and Hideo Kojima casually turns into us knuckling under the Soviets. Thank you for
The next
rewriting our
day,
history.
I got Sokolov out of the hospital.
Also,
handing him over to agents
we decided to
used on
avert full-scale
Sokolov
nuclear
kept
war
on
by
screaming, "Save me,"
giving
until
away
he disappeared from my
the
sight.
most dangerous nuclear scientist. In
Okay, well.
Yep.
Then a month ago, we received
Camera
some
attack.
new information
Oh.
from one of our
Right, yeah.
moles.
About Sokolov?
No,
Oh,
about
but-
underground.
Yeah,
Yes.
dirt and stuff.
He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision.
What a bunch of jerks.
What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
That's the
So, like,
thing.
Technology.
yeah, air
I
rockets.
guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device.
Cool. Not like
For
those
half a year now,
obsolete
the
nukes in
Soviets
Turkey
have
that we
been
don't care
conducting
about.
frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No,
There's a map of the
according
Soviet
to our
Union.
intelligence, he's in Selino Yask, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs.
Yes, they've never had sex.
Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there.
Chuck
just
Norris
recently.
went there. Now they're
Why?
called the Cliffs.
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best
Chuck
chance
Norris
to get
has
him
sex
back.
with the
This
Cliffs.
mission would never have been
That's
possible if he was still in the research
The implication.
facility.
This is here,
This
see?
is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
He contacted us.
Virtuous mission. White screen.
So anyway, no hypothermia for you. He's dropping in on Luo Yang to defeat Cao Cao. He is the Yukon. We're gonna wreck these toys so hard. We do this for Rose, who hasn't been born yet either.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
You press RB and
You get first person perspective.
there are points in the game where there are little extras, cutesy
Yeah.
joke
If we don't get
extras.
Sokolov back
The
before
general
the
rule, they
mission
actually
completes,
undermine the
we'll be
drama,
facing
and
a
I
major
avoid them.
crisis. The clock is ticking.
I've been told that we missed one in the ending scene of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, what we could have looked around and seen, what, Vamp
Once
or
we've
something?
confirmed
Yeah.
the rescue of Sokolov,
I'm
stand by at the
just
recovery
fine
point.
with that
A
not
recovery
having
balloon
seen
will be
it.
dropped at that point.
I might look up on YouTube to
Helium
see
will
what
be
it's like.
pumped into
But
the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
much like any given cinema
Once
scene
it's
in this
complete,
game.
The gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
Well, I mean, all on radio.
Surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Look, buddy, if you're just gonna be a big know-it-all about everything,
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
you remember Cobra?
She's
And
equipped
I'm
with
betting
two
that
6-barrel
Sokolov isn't a
20mm
fatty.
Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Run through the jungle. Yeah.
See,
That'll
really.
show him.
I hate how he's always talking about how he never has to eat jungle food. You know, food
Perform
that
jungle boogies.
jungles, consume.
You'll eat a frog if I tell you to, Snake, and you'll like it. You'll feast on a tree frog.
I don't know why you would think that would
Why would I say that? What? Ah, shit. There goes our inventory, I guess.
Ow.
What, do you just travel here from the future, Terminator
Look like he
style?
just, like, nodded
Why do you
his
have
head
clothes?
You want him to be some kind of naked snake?
No, that would be silly. Man, I wish
This
I
game
didn't-
was originally going to be called U.S. Army Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, but
I wish this gas mask wasn't hooked up to my butt and smell my farts here.
I just hope nobody figures out to use the other controller port, or else I won't be able to. Well, I guess I'm giving that up anyway.
Did you say nerd? Metal Gear Raiden.
It's like, I know, they just said that's David Hayter, but. The bright yellow dot on my non-existent radar is me.
Pretty awesome. Well, I mean,
You do not appear to have Soliton on radar. Or it hasn't been introduced to you, so you don't know what it is. What?
I just got some mushrooms.
What is going on here?
This is a very different a couple of ways from...
What's wrong? You were expecting something different? Now, go and find Sokolov and get him out of there.
Hurry along now.
Good boy.
You have a little percentile meter that changes as you move and duck and things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I feel like I'm ready to start explaining, but I think the game will explain them if I just keep my mouth shut. Including the fact that, you see, it says mask, olive drab.
Yeah.
You notice how we look like Raiden?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the game where I picked that I liked Metal Gear Solid 2? I'm a blade man.
So you mean this is permanent?
No.
Oh, okay.
you didn't sound happy at all about that.
You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about
You might be forced to order a snake at a
several
restaurant.
restaurants.
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
I really should have thought of this
Oh, and
before
Snake.
I started.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
Shed my skin.
Oh no, we thought you were going to be Quentin Flynn for the rest of the game.
This is the new stuff. I go dancing in.
So I don't know, I don't know what you get if you pick Metal Gear 1 or Metal Gear 3. I don't think you get anything. But yeah, that little cutesy bit
You
there.
get a sort of pixelated representation of the shadows that are cast across a face ordinarily, but not a real face.
You,
If
that
like
might
Metal
actually
Solid
be
Blood.
it. Actually, I don't think that could be. It's so pretty. I really am turning into Raiden. It's so beautiful. Rose, let's talk about our feelings. Ricky.
I want to go to the club.
I want to be in the show too, Ricky.
I want to go to a fancy restaurant and order steak.
You might not have a choice. You might be forced to order snake in a restaurant. Ground control to Major
Hear
Me.
me, Major Tom.
Yep.
This is Snake.
This is
Kept you
intentional,
waiting,
folks. Major Tom.
This will be a sneaking mission.
Sneaker,
You
sneaker.
must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
What about my nanomachines?
Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
When we're together again, Snake.
Getting back to the subject.
When we're spooning.
The lights are
exactly am I
low.
supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
Well, I guess you better find it then.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then.
Like Bobo said.
You know where it is?
Bobo's a tactical
problem.
genius.
I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
The judicial branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action
In other
button.
words, a tree that's been marked as an item
I'll
instead
be
of
monitoring your
background.
progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency
We
is
can't violate Soviet airspace,
but I'm doing it.
140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk
Don't
to
call me, though.
use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Inside your backpack, you'll find Mr. Freezer bars. They're as much fun to squeeze as they are to eat. Avoid killing enemy soldiers if it's not necessary. It would be a shocking and vulgar act of rudeness.
We cannot afford to violate Soviet airspace, which is why we're sending in our snake. So, go into first-person mode and find where the tree is. Where's the backpack? Did I hear footsteps? May just be the implied you are walking in a circle as you...
No, there's a...
Something is rustling.
There's a frog. Do you see it?
Frog. Hey, there's a frog.
I don't see that I have a stun gun.
It may be in your backpack.
Oh, yeah, probably is.
Oh man, there's a frog there. It's so awesome. Whoa, he just turned it up. Our frog bee. Hi, I'm our frog bee.
Let's see.
You got a frog? You can use that against Sniper Wolf.
Now hurry up and get your backpack. Ah.
Oh, there's a brightly indicated, or very well lit tree over there.
Yeah.
That looks like it has ivy on it. Everyone, look at that snake butt. Did you see another rustle in
the detail
bedroom? Oh, there is to the left. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, there's a snake!
Snake eater. I don't know why Grimmett says it that way.
Buckets.
It's like they're snakes, not hot pockets. That really wasn't what I was supposed to do, was it?
No, you gotta use careful use of the analog joypad.
Damn it.
Or can you, like, crouch using X, maybe? Now that you're up in the tree for the third time.
Learn how to fucking
Backpack
crawl.
is on the branch pointing east on that tree, right?
Yep.
Walk along the branch and get it. Be careful not to fall.
Oh, now you
should be able
tell
to
me.
grab your backpack if you hang from the branch by pressing the action button.
That's good backpack.
Oh, I should have saved the
Meryl.
snake until it. Yeah.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
I'm so proud of you.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival.
Now
backpack.
for the next
Yep.
item.
Survival is fundamental to this mission.
Yeah.
After
you
get out
die,
of the
you
field,
probably
your
won't- yeah.
stamina will start to drop.
It's not a
If stamina
suicide
gets too low,
mission.
it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly.
You'll have these really rough-looking
Keep an eye on
scars.
your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
And a
That's
knife.
right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any
It
weapons
covers
and
over
equipment
nothing.
beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment. Whose crazy idea was this
Oh,
anyway?
in the future, this will be all the rage.
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons,
Leave only footprints.
equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste.
Oh, don't even leave
Same
footprints.
goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of
You've been
international
given a
conventions of
bag to
warfare.
poop in.
There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. it could spark an international incident.
Gotcha.
You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word.
Spooky.
There will be no rescue if you're captured. The military and U.S. government will deny any involvement in the affair.
But
Then I'll
if
just
you
have
are
to take care of
need
myself,
and you can
right?
find them, you may be
I'm
able to
afraid
hire
so.
the 80.
You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose.
Remember that, folks.
SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule.
Now, don't end
Tape
up
it to
like
your
the villain
body
from
so you can take it
Skyfall,
when
where
you
it
need
melts your face and
How
doesn't kill
generous
you.
of
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the
Yeah.
one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo
It's a
mission,
false
right?
death.
Right.
You remember the
I guess that
second
means I
episode
can't
of
count
Master
on any
Ninja?
reinforcements.
It's like that.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real
Whatever
one-man
happened
army.
to...
Relax. There's a
It's
support
time
team
to
ready
get
to
up.
back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance.
Usually I
First
don't
member of the
mind you
support team will be in
dying.
charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to
And
speak,
she's
as
cute
well
and
as recording
sexy,
your
and we'll be
mission data.
saving emission data
She's a
because that's
member
pretty
of
much how we
Fox as
roll.
well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She's here on my gunship.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
Well, presumably
As
she's
an medic
sexy.
who comes
We
in
got a
by
bunch of still
parachute.
photos.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name? It's John Doe.
And they call you
Snake.
Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name.
Anyway, what's your
No,
name?
after a week, you can't
Jane Doe.
remember your name.
Very funny.
Because there ain't no
I
one
wasn't
for to
joking,
give you no
But
pay.
I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
I don't care.
She's also in charge of recording your mission.
Oh, okay, I
data.
guess I'd probably
Whenever
care
you
then.
want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
She has two of
So
them.
saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake. Speaking
Your
of
future
snakes,
bride.
you remember the boss, don't you?
The boss was
A
a snake.
legendary soldier and your
Yeah.
mentor. Actually,
did
it was
that
the boss
Everybody
that got
Wants
the
a Hungry
DCI's
Heart.
authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Boss.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
Age unknown.
It's
You know,
been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
And 42 minutes.
You've
and
lost
37
weight.
seconds.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
It's
No
creepy.
longer fatty.
Well, I don't know anything about you.
I don't know
What's
your
that
age,
supposed to
your
mean?
birth date. What's
Why'd you
that?
disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret
I
mission.
was having an affair with your mother, and
didn't
then you were
need me.
drowning in the pool, and
But there were
Yeah,
still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No. I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could.
But you could talk
The
me so
rest
much
you
more
needed to
about
learn on your own.
love and
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
I
How to
needed
think
thinking
like a
techniques.
soldier? I can't teach you that.
What do you
A
do?
Terrible
I
soldier
don't know the
needs to
soldier.
be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And
See,
the
I'm
only
writing
thing you
this
can
down.
learn
I'm
from
learning it
someone
now.
else
It's
is
great.
technique.
Mm.
In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit.
And
Spirit
dreams
and
and
body
wishes
are
the
like two
heart
sides of a
makes.
single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to
Two
figure
sides of
it
the
out
same
for
coin, the same
yourself.
thing. That would imply
Listen
that
to me,
Monticello
Jack.
is the same as Thomas Jefferson
Just
said.
because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit.
You should be a
Politics
freaking robot,
determine
Jack.
who you face on the
Wait,
battlefield.
are you
And
starting to
politics
tell
are
me
a
how to
living
think?
thing. They change along with the
I
times.
dare say.
Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Yeah, well, anyway, I got a
Why you
submission,
abandoned me?
so...
No, it
That's
had
so
nothing to do with you.
good of you to
I
have
already
done.
told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given.
Your girl.
It's not his place to question why. but you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission.
You
He
really
has
should
no
talk to
enemies
Rios
and
and
no
Salem
friends.
about this.
Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner
I'm a
or later,
moderate.
your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun.
Why not
There's a
both?
saying
They're
in
not
the
mutually
Orient,
exclusive.
loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Wait, are you my save frequency now, or?
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
I'd gladly lay down my
The
life for
president
brass.
and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The military-industrial
times.
complex. Oh.
People's values change over
Oh,
time.
the media.
And so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms.
What about
The
absolute
enemies we
vodka?
fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have
Yeah,
loyalty
pretty
to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
Boss, you
That's
seem to be
what
having a
soldiers
bad day.
supposed to think.
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty
It's
is
fear
the mission
itself.
attack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Stop
Call me
talking.
Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss...
Anyway, I'm still here.
Snake,
Yes.
the Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world.
Cool.
As long as
Cobra
other
Gang was
legendary
there.
hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
I'll never give
Yeah,
up.
I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Do you have a leg
Yes.
tattoo?
You
of a
sound
snake?
nothing like Kelsey
Voice
Grammer.
again.
Same here.
Do you have a
After
snake
all,
tattoo on
who
your
knows
leg
if
that
either of
disappears
us
when you
will
wear a
make it out
bikini,
alive.
boss?
Snake,
You
are
can't be a leader
always
of Cobra
best
Gang
at urban
otherwise.
warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle.
The buildings.
Survival is going to be
Man,
key.
building.
Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Yeah, those guys are a bunch of pussies, right?
I'll be here to help you remember.
Try
After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
She just likes to hang
My
out in
frequency
submarines.
is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
141.80. She
Your
might
mission
actually.
is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position.
That's good.
Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Anyway,
Peace. I'm out.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Snake, do some action poses. Yeah. USA.
Commencing virtuous mission. Now.
Now. And what do you go? Now. Virtual. Virtual.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, so let's see if we actually need to remember any of those frequencies. No, it actually
Ah,
did
okay,
remember them
good.
for us. So let's go ahead and
Game, Snake?
save the game. Snake, do you need to save? No, Paramedic was, for my money, a lot less irritating than Rose, though she is a female character in a Metal Gear game, so, you know.
So she's saving your mission data.
Yeah.
Ooh, well. There are plenty of female characters who don't save your mission data, folks. I know.
Yeah, the ones who don't, yeah, they generally either,
Hey, Snake.
get killed
you ever
or
heard
give
Godzilla,
you
King of
horrible
Monsters?
diseases
No,
like
what is it?
Fox
Fox
die.
die.
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
And we don't know about the horrible
It's
disease
about
the boss
this
gets
monster
sick
called
of. But,
Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
Well, I mean,
It's just make believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to
Was
all
he making
weapons, and
boner
humanity
jokes,
has
or-
no way to stop the monster.
I'm controlling this, but
Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating
Then in the
everything in its
American
path.
version, Orson Welles
It
appears
was
as a
originally
linking
Japanese
narration.
movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance.
it's
'Cause all
superior.
things original
Mindless fun,
Japanese
but
are
it's also got a serious
superior.
anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll
In
just have to go to
Japan.
Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
I hate
That's
that.
too
Wait for
bad.
it, 'cause you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course.
Yeah, they're gonna be making
Everybody
really
loves Godzilla.
shitty ones.
You sure
Matthew
know a lot about
Broderick or
movies.
whoever the hell.
I don't suppose you're the movie watching type, are you?
Not really.
No, why don't you go hang out with Rose? You guys can
I'll
talk
tell you
about King
everything I
Kong. It
know.
looked fantastic.
When the going gets tough, movies can save your
When
life.
the going
It's
gets
always good to be able
tough
to look at
to
things from a different
watch
perspective when you
movies.
get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
If I have to.
Well, I suppose she could be telling me what De Gaulle said, so things could definitely be worse.
Snake, remember what generic soldier guy in Godzilla said. Godzilla is proposing Hokkaido!
Like, remember what Kenny said? Gamma is a friend of all children. All right. Okay, folks. Well, we managed to defeat a couple of mushrooms, a frog, and a snake. Next time, Virtuous Mission begins now. What is it now? Now. Okay. Virtuous Mission now. I'm Serious JG.
I'm Bobo the Vulture.
And I hope you'll join us next time, which will be soon. Bye-bye.